10 passes per side, light pressure, and it feels much sharper under the microscope. However, that does almost nothing to your edge. In this video, I'll show you how much harder and probably how much longer you actually have to strop to clean out the scratches and refine the edge. This is the first scratch pattern. It's a 220 grit and on a Spy 27 Delica 4, this one. You can see the large scratches. 220 grit is about 70 microns. Of course, these scratches are much smaller than that. Those diamonds only cut with the tip, so the width easily varies between 2 to almost 10 microns. And in those scratches, you can see smaller scratches. As you can see, these diamonds are not all aligned with one clean cutting edge pointing straight up, no. They're all fragmented with sharp edges everywhere. So this creates scratch patterns within scratch patterns. We know that stropping primarily works at the edge, making it more narrow by slightly convexing it. There is also the widespread belief that stropping cleans out the scratches. It doesn't remove the scratch pattern, but it cleans inside them. In my previous videos, I have not been able to confirm that. Today, I want to further investigate just that. Let's see if we can confirm any of that. So this is the strop I used. It contains 6 micron stroppy stuff. You can see the leather fibers. It's notoriously hard to show compound on leather. So here you can see what stroppy stuff actually looks like. It's pretty stuff, isn't it? So let's get to the edge. Before I show you anything, pressure. I want to be exact about that. So I put the strop on the scale. Light for me is about 500 grams and hard is about 1500. You can see it on the screen. Here is a stropped and washed version of the previous edge. 10 passes each. Relatively hard leather and normal stropping pressure. It's the same location on the edge every time. Looking at these pictures, I just cannot see anything that confirms that the edge is being refined or that the scratches are being cleaned out. So let's compare this at a higher magnification. This is at 50 times magnification, so don't confuse this 50x with 3000x nonsense you see online for some USB microscopes. This is way more magnified than that. So now let's compare this exact location after stropping for a second time. So this is after another 10 passes on each side with normal pressure on a relatively hard strop. So I see nothing. I see absolutely nothing. Everything looks exactly the same. So I did some more stropping, and again, I see no difference. It looks exactly the same. And then finally, I tried again with applying really hard pressure, but as you can see here, again, no difference at all. So what does this mean? Is this myth debunked? Is it impossible to clean out scratches? Well, let's jump to a different steel and come back to Spy 27 later. So this is VG10. This is a much softer steel than Spy 27. And as you can see, there are a lot of micro scratches here. This is ideal to test. So this time I'm using DMT DiaSharp 6 micron. It's one of my favorite stropping compounds. It's oil-based. All these compounds are very close to each other. There are no huge differences, but I do like DMT a lot. So here we see the edge after light stropping. I did 10 passes on each side. There is not much difference, as you can see. Perhaps there is some cleaning out on these parts here and here. I did mark them in the pictures. I'm not sure. It's all a bit too subtle. So let's strop again with some more pressure and make sure. Here you can see the effect of the pressure. A lot of scratches have been cleaned out. The secondary scratch patterns have been refined, and we can clearly see the effect we wanted to confirm. You can also see that the edge has become smoother. All right. So we can clearly witness the effect on a steel like VG10. So what was going on with Spy 27? Let's circle back and use a different approach. But first, if you like this kind of analysis, subscribe to the channel. There is much more coming. This is our baseline. I just covered the entire edge with indelible ink. That will allow you to better evaluate what exactly is happening. Let's do a first light stropping with Wicked Edge 5 micron. This is the strop itself. As you can see, it is richly loaded. And here is the compound itself. It is also oil-based. I do have a preference for oil-based compounds. They stick much better to the leather. And here, this is the result after stropping. This is slightly disappointing, I must say. You can clearly see the part of the edge that was stropped, and those specks you can see are diamonds that are clinging to the edge. You can also see that some of the ink is getting removed at the top of those scratches. But other than that, it isn't doing much. Let's do a second stropping with much more pressure. Here it is. I used 6 micron DMT dia sharp. I know, I variated, but the difference between these compounds is small. So most of the ink is gone, and it cleaned out most of the scratches. There is still some ink left here and there. I'm wondering now what was going on. So the previous stropping was clearly too soft. Clearly, the leather is able to mold itself to the scratches. However, without the added pressure, I would never have been able to clean out the scratches. So with more stropping at lower pressure, I would probably only have been able to work the edge and round off the ridges, but not clean out the scratches. So just to see what happens, I continued stropping at a decent high pressure. I used Wicked Edge again. So this is the result. Everything is severely refined and all the scratches are fully cleaned out. But more importantly, most of the work is at the edge. That has been entirely refined. And as you can see, it is also slightly convexed. So what went wrong the first time with Spy 27 then? Let's try again one final time. So here again, a 220 grit baseline. I then went on to strop that baseline with hard pressure. There's no use using lighter pressure, we know that, and 20 passes on each side. I think it has been sufficiently shown that light pressure does not adequately clean out the scratches. So this time I used Hepstone compound. This is the strop, and again you can see that it is richly loaded. And this then is the result. It is quite spectacular, I would say. The edge is fully refined without any apparent convexing. All scratches have been cleaned out. The ridges have been rounded over somewhat. And over the rough 2020 grit pattern, there is now a very fine 5-6 micron scratch pattern. These fine scratches will vary in size from 1/20 to 1/7 of the size of the diamond, 5 or 6 micron. So that results into 0.85 micron to 0.2 micron, from just visible by this microscope to almost beyond the limits of light microscopy. So what did happen on that first try? I don't know. It's not the hardness of the strops, and the same goes for the compounds. Of course, I should have kept them constant. I varied them to keep the tests interesting. However, off camera, I investigated further and I used all of them again on Spy 27. I isolated compound and strop, and I just could not pin the cause down. It was all too long to put into this video, of course. And perhaps I just missed my angle. However, I did not have any really soft strop, so it would be interesting to see if that could compensate for lower pressure. There is one constant. Cleaning out the scratches is not something that occurs easily without applying sufficient pressure and sufficient passes. At the same time, the work at the edge requires less pressure, but it does likely require much more passes than people would ordinarily use when stropping a knife. I will check that in the next video. And this will probably only go up with more wear-resistant steels. You can already notice this with a relatively soft steel like Spy 27. Imagine with Magna Cut Magna Max 15V. Another thing to mention, this also has an impact on cut testing. Usually the protocol in these cut tests is the same for all steels. But is this actually a fair way to do it? With a harder steel, less refinement will happen, so the geometry at the very apex will be different. So you're not testing the same thing. This might affect the outcome. This is not my first try to evaluate the effects of stropping. And up here you can see my comparison between basswood strops and leather strops. It's very interesting. And this one on the other side describes my earlier attempt to look at stropping. If you like this video, please subscribe. See you guys later.